Thanks so much for registering for this 3 Secrets to Stress-Free Weddings. I'm Zach, one half of Zach and Jody. And in this class, we're going to teach you some incredible stuff about what you can do on your wedding day to make it less stressful, get better portraits, and make the day amazing for your clients. But listen up for the next few minutes because I want to talk to you about something really important that's the other half of the wedding day itself, and that's the management and the running of the entire business behind the scenes. Now, I know that when Jody and I first started photographing weddings, we thought, man, we're going to get paid a good chunk of money to show up on a wedding day, and it's going to be like taking candy from a baby in a sense because it's so easy. We show up, we shoot, we edit the photos, we hand them over. And that's really it. But unfortunately, as many of us have found out, there's about 80% of what we actually do and all this other stuff behind the scenes called running a business. We have emails to send and leads to follow up with, and we have an experience to create for our customers. And it's a really challenging process to stay on top of it. And more importantly than that, what Jody and I have realized as we've taught and educated now tens of thousands of photographers all over the world, is that if you want to make more money, raise your hand if you want to make more money in your photography business. I know most of you that are watching this are hopefully raising your hand right now. We've realized that the number one way to make more money in your business is not to become a technically better photographer. While that is important, that's not what's going to make you more money. And what's going to make you more money is creating value. And the way that we create value in a photography business is by giving our clients something that's they can't really put their finger on. It's really about the experience that we give to our customers. Now, there's a phenomenal book that you can read about this, and I'll put a recommendation in the web class. When you guys watch it, you guys can check out this book that this is from. But if you learn how to create a phenomenal experience for your customer and an experience that's repeatable over and over and over again, that is one of the best ways that you can wow your customers and make them feel really good about you. Now, we used to use this analogy all the time that why is it that some photographers that don't seem to be the greatest photographers seem to be getting booked all the time and their clients are raving about them? Well, when Jody and I first got married, we were living in a tiny little apartment in Franklin, Tennessee, where we live right now. And it was the cheapest place we could find because we didn't make very much money. And I remember every day when we would walk out to go to our office and walk through the parking lot in the apartment complex, we would see this $70,000 Corvette sitting in this guy's parking space in the cheap apartments that we lived in. And I used to always think to myself, why in the world? This doesn't make any sense. Why does this guy who's living in this cheap apartment have this really, really expensive car? He could sell that car or not have bought it in the first place, use that money for a down payment and buy a house. And I can never understand why he puts so much value, so much of his money into this vehicle. And what I learned later on is that people put their money into the things that they value, the things that give them sort of this experiential value, this feeling, this thing that sets it apart from everything else. And for all I know, that guy had this relationship with his dad where all they talked about when he was a kid was they were going to buy a Corvette and fix it up one day and they were going to drive it together. And his dad could have passed away, and on his deathbed, he could have said, "Son, I hope that one day you're going to live that dream and you're going to buy that Corvette." So he sacrificed everything in order to buy this car. That's not necessarily the story, but that could have been the story. So if you look at some of the best brands in the world, companies like Disney and Apple, and the list goes on, what those companies do is they don't necessarily produce the best product. So as an example, Disney doesn't have the best roller coasters in the world, but they make you feel a certain way about the theme park. It's this connection to childhood. When you hear the music and watch the movies, it connects you to what they're doing. And it creates this experience inside of you that you can't really put your finger on what it is, but you know it has a tremendous amount of value. So if you can do that with your photography business, you can create this incredible amount of value to where price can continue to rise as long as value rises. And people will continue to spend more and more money with you as long as you can create more value. So what's the best way to do that? One of the easiest ways to do that is to create a repeatable experience in your business. When somebody fills out your contact form, you ask them a certain type of question that makes it about them and makes them feel good about themselves. When people reply to you, you follow up quickly. When people come into your ecosystem in a sense and they book you, there's an experience and there's these things that happen over and over and over again that make them feel amazing about working with you. Jody and I did that back in the old days when we first started. We did it like this. We literally had a book that had our experience written down. You can see all this crazy stuff in here. And it had all these things that we specifically did that made it unique and personable for each of our clients. Now, this was really, really complicated and difficult because we had to do it all by hand. But essentially what was in here was the makings of our experience that we created for our customers. So when Jody and I got more advanced in our career and we got this system really dialed in, what we started to notice was something really incredible. That the average client would start spending 3 to 4 times what they initially spent with us. So we had $2,000 or $3,000 clients on the front end. We're spending $6,000, $8,000, $10,000, even $12,000 with us. This was 10 years ago in our photography business. Why were they doing that? Is it because Zach and Jody are the most amazing photographers on the planet? No. It's because we were creating an incredible experience that was connecting us to our customers, and it was creating this tremendous amount of value that they couldn't put their finger on, but they knew was something they wanted more of. So as Jody and I started to rack our brains and try to figure out how can we do that and allow the average photographer, every other wedding photographer, create this same experience for their customers, but do it in a very simple and easy way, we decided to create this incredible piece of software called ShootFlow. Now, ShootFlow is a piece of software that does this for you. It takes about 30 minutes to set the entire thing up and basically get our entire handwritten system in place for your business. And what does it do? It takes your customer from the very first contact point when they fill out your contact form, and it uses our contact form, and it starts right there by creating this experience for your customer. And it also does something really amazing for you. It creates an experience for the photographer, which makes it very easy and streamlined to wow your customer with the way that you interact with them, with the way you talk to them, with the way that you book them, the way that you send them their contract, and the way that they pay you, and the way that you follow up with them, and you create all these amazing little touch points throughout the entire process. It also helps you organize all of your customers. It helps you know where they are at any time, and it tells you each and every day all the little simple things you need to do to stay on top of your clients. It's very, very easy to use, takes 30 minutes to set up, and it creates this incredible experience for your customer that doubles, triples, or even quadruples your value to your customer and makes them want to spend more and more money with you. And here's the best part, refer you to all of their friends, and it builds that into the system, shows you exactly how to do it, and it does it very easily. So we want to make you an offer that you can't refuse. There's a little button below. You can see some of the highlighted features of what ShootFlow does. You can click that link and you can try it out for 14 days for free on us. We know that because it only takes 30 minutes to set up, you can play around with it for a week just to see how incredible it's going to be. Once you start using it, you're going to realize you cannot believe you've ever lived without it. If you're a wedding photographer, this is the greatest solution for running a wedding photography business that you've ever seen. So check it out. Start using ShootFlow. You're going to absolutely love it. If you don't love it, you can refund it, or you get 14 days free. And then even if you start using it, you can get a refund at any time if you don't want to keep using it. But we know that you're going to love using it. You're going to join this incredible community of thousands of photographers that are using ShootFlow and loving this thing. We're here to help you grow your business. We're Zach and Jody Photography, and we can't wait for you to check out ShootFlow.